Oh my gosh, but Vileplume's Effect Spore triggers, putting Beedrill to sleep. Hello friends! My name is definitely Frankie, and welcome back to Gotta Drag 'em All-Stars, the show where we pit two Drag Race queens against each other in a 6v6 Pokemon battle to see who sashays and who shantays. Previously on Gotta Drag 'em All-Stars, we saw our second elimination as Olivia Lux lost her battle against Metamorphosis. With only 13 queens left in the competition, let's go check out what they're up to after that elimination. But before that, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, then I'll be sad. And I don't want to be sad. Ooh, girl, what's poppin'? Hello queens! I want you to channel your inner Mimikyu and embody someone or something else. For this week's Maxi Challenge, we'll be playing the Snatch Game. Good luck! Snatch Game is a Drag Race staple, and thankfully a lot of our queens have participated in one, so let's take a look at how they've each done. Immediately, of the queens remaining in our cast, only one was able to snatch a Snatch Game win, and that's Manila Luzon on All-Stars 4. Following that performance, it looks like Willem and Saphira were the next most successful queens on Snatch Game, both placing high in their original seasons. Meanwhile, Raven and Kimchi both placed safe, and Asia and Crystal both placed low. 4 queens have not participated in Snatch Game, and those queens are Nina Flowers, Sugarcane, Metamorphosis, and Irene Dubois. However, I'm gonna put them all as safe because we actually had 2 double bottom Snatch Game performances. Detox for both Season 5 and All-Stars 2, and Gia from both Season 6 and All-Stars 4. And so, with our bottom queen set, let's take a look at the Pokemon that they'll be bringing to the battle, starting with
Detox coming at you with a slow burst.
The first Pokemon I chose for Detox is Beedrill, based on her entrance look from Season 5. Beedrill honestly has some of the lowest stats across all fully evolved Pokemon that I can recall, and its one and only saving grace is an okay attack stat. But with defenses like this, it would get squashed like the bug that it is, so it's holding the Focus Sash to help it survive at least one attack. In concert with its ability Swarm to boost its bug moves by 1.5 times, it'll ideally be able to then dish out some respectable damage with U-turns and X-scissors. Next, I chose Jellicent based on Detox's deadliest snatch Jellyfish Runway from Season 5. Jellicent has a pretty good spread of stats across the board with particularly good HP and special defense stats, so it'll be Detox's primary special defensive wall. Coupled with leftovers and the water absorb ability, means Jellicent will be having a good time whenever there's a water type on the opposing team. Besides that, it'll have good coverage moves like Shadow Ball, Scald, and Energy Ball to give it a little bit of offensive capabilities as well. Next up, we have Aggron, who is based on Detox's Season 5 Grayscale Finale look. Aggron has an incredibly high defense stat and a good attack stat as well. With the ability Sturdy and the item Rocky Helmet, Detox will want to use Aggron as a physical wall who can soak up some physical attacks and retaliate with powerful Earthquakes and Heavy Slams. If Detox doesn't want to go for outright damage, she can also use Aggron more supportively by setting up Stealth Rocks or using Toxic on her opponents. Next, we have Crocodile, who I chose based on Detox's All-Stars 2 Latex on the Runway look, with the reds and blacks and eye makeup / mask matching Crocodile's pretty well. Crocodile has really great stats overall with a very high attack and good HP and speed stats. The Intimidate ability will give it a good matchup into other physical attackers, and a Choice Band will help to boost its already good physical damage on moves like Knockoff, Earthquake, Gunk Shot, or Close Combat. If left unchecked, Crocodile can be an absolute menace. Next up, I chose Zangoose, based on Detox's Pants on the Runway All-Stars 2 look with the white and red color palette. Zangoose's stats are like a mini Crocodile with good attack and speed stats. Its ability and item go hand in hand, as the Toxic Orb will poison it after its first turn on the field, and its ability Toxic Boost increases its physical damage by 1.5 times. On top of that, the move Facade has its power doubled if its user is statused, which Zangoose will be. Oh, and it's a normal type move, so Zangoose gets a stab boost on top of that, so it'll be tearing through opponents who are unable to deal with this normal type Pokemon. Lastly, we have Dragonite, who is based on Detox's All-Stars 2 finale look and color palettes. Dragonite has some amazing base stats, with not one area being particularly bad. Its ability Multiscale will have all damage taken while it's at full HP, and its item Heavy Duty Boots will ensure that it doesn't have its Multiscale ability broken by something like Stealth Rocks. Dragon Dance and Extreme Speed also make Dragonite a huge threat if it's able to get some boosts up. Detox's team overall is pretty threatening with some pretty tanky boys in Aggron and Jellicent. If it can get set up, Zangoose will be able to do some devastating damage with Facades and close combats, while Beedrill can help take control of the battle with U-turns. Dragonite is another physical threat who can set up with Dragon Dance, and Crocodile is so strong that it has the raw power to really just wipe through opposing Pokemon with ease if left unchecked.
And I'm the queen bee, so eat it up and crown it.
Moving on over to Gia Gunn's team, we'll start with Basculegion because, like Gia, Basculegion also just landed like fresh tilapia, being introduced to the game pretty recently in 2022 in the Legends Arceus game. Basculegion has really great HP and attack stats, coupled with the Choice Band to increase its damage by 1.5 times, and the ability Adaptability, which increases its stab bonus from 1.5 to 2x, it'll be pumping out massive damage with moves like Wave Crash and Flip Turn. Next, we have Magmortar, who I chose because of his arm cannons, and clearly, Magmortar also doesn't jump guns and also is the Boom Boom Gun.
Period.
Magmortar has great base stats with particularly high special attack. Its ability Flame Body gives it a chance to burn any Pokemon that makes contact with it, and the choice specs will help to boost its special damage even further. Moves like Flamethrower, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, and Scorching Sands give it a lot of coverage options when it comes to dealing damage. Next, I chose Alolan Sandslash based on Gia's All-Stars 4 promo look with the general icy vibes. Alolan Sandslash is a little bit bulkier than its original variant with a higher defense and special defense stat, but its attack stat remained good as is. Its ability Slush Rush doubles its speed in the snow, and an Assault Vest gives it a little bit more special defensive bulk as well. It'll be able to take advantage of its typing well with stab moves like Iron Head and Ice Spinner. Next, we have Vileplume, who I chose based on Gia's All-Stars 4 entrance look, with the blue on the bottom and red on the top matching Vileplume's color palettes, and just generally the poison typing, I think being a pretty good match for Gia, all things considered. Vileplume has some meh stats across the board, but it will be a good special wall for Gia. The item Black Sludge will act as leftovers to heal it up each turn, and the ability Effect Spore gives it a chance to status any Pokemon that makes contact with Vileplume. Moves like Toxic and Leech Seed will help Vileplume to be an absolute nuisance and help chip away at its opponents. Next, I chose Togekiss based on Gia's All-Stars 4 Hanny Girl group look with her peplum sort of giving wings, and its general iridescent colors invoking a fairy type for me. Togekiss is really great on the special side with really good special attack and special defense stats. Leftovers will help to give it even more survivability, while its ability Serene Grace will double the chance for its moves to trigger their secondary effect, such as the flinch chance on Air Slash. Roost, Dazzling Gleam, and Thunder Wave round out the moveset of this more support-oriented Pokemon. Lastly, I chose Espeon for Gia's team, based on her unaired Kitty Girl Couture look from All-Stars 4. Espeon is similarly built really well on the special side with a particularly good special attack stat. Its ability Magic Bounce will bounce certain status moves back at their user, while a Life Orb will help to boost its damage on moves like Psyshock, Shadow Ball, and Power Gem even higher. Overall, Gia's team is pretty well balanced and good special attackers in Magmortar and Espeon, great defensive walls in Vileplume and Alolan Sandslash, Togekiss for more specially oriented offense that is also a great support Pokemon, and Basculegion for big physical damage. Her biggest weakness may be the speed of her team not being the best, but as long as she is aware of that, she should be able to work around that weakness to victory.
I need to show these other bitches what real talent is about.
And with that, let's get this show on the road. Mother, over to you.
Gia and Detox. I'm sorry, my dears, but you're up for elimination. 2 queens stand before me. Ladies, this is your last chance to impress me and save yourself from elimination. The time has come.
Pokemon battle.
For your life. Good luck, and don't get up.
Detox leads with Aggron, while Gia goes with Magmortar. Both queens are going to stay in here, and Gia goes for a big Focus Blast, but Aggron hangs on with 1 HP thanks to Sturdy, and is able to retaliate with a big Earthquake. Gia manages to land another Focus Blast, and Aggron will be the first Pokemon to be knocked out in this battle. Detox brings in Jellicent now and threatens Magmortar out as Gia swaps into Vileplume to soak up that Scald. Detox isn't going to want to stay in here on Jellicent, so yep, it's going to swap into Zangoose as Gia makes a great play here and sets up a Leech Seed. Toxic Orb will poison Zangoose to trigger its Toxic Boost ability, so Gia must be expecting a normal type attack, so she brings in Basculegion to avoid that Facade. Detox really can't stay in here, so she's going to have to swap and brings into Jellicent, whose Water Absorbability is going to trigger to nullify that attempt at Flip Turn. Gia has to hard switch now back into Vileplume, who once again is able to soak up that attack really, really well. Detox brings out Dragonite here, as Gia goes for another Leech Seed on the switch-in. This will break Dragonite's multi-scale ability. Detox goes for the Dragon Dance here, as Vileplume will go on the offensive with a Sludge Wave. Dragonite's HP is slowly getting chipped away here, as it tries to go for that Earthquake, but Gia makes a great read and swaps into Togekiss to be immune to that damage. Dragonite goes for an Extreme Speed, doing a big 46%, but Togekiss is just going to roost off that damage. And Leech Seed here is going to continue to chip away at Dragonite's HP. Detox makes a big play here and goes for a second Dragon Dance, expecting Togekiss to roost again, and it pays off. Leech Seed will bring Dragonite down to 2% health, as it now goes for another Extreme Speed, this time doing 61%, but Gia knows better and will just roost off most of that damage once again. And Dragonite is going to go down this turn to Leech Seed. Detox here is down to 4 Pokemon and brings in Beedrill, who's going to get a big Poison Jab onto Togekiss and get the Poison. Air Slash comes in, but Beedrill hangs on by a thread. Gia is again going to swap out into Vileplume, but Detox smartly goes for an X-Scissor this time to do big damage on that switch-in. Oh my gosh, but Vileplume's Effect Spore triggers, putting Beedrill to sleep. And it's going to stay asleep. Detox wanted that one-turn wake-up, but no dice. Beedrill will go down to Vileplume, and Detox is down to her last 3 Pokemon, as Gia still has all 6. In comes Crocodile for Detox, and Gia is going to just stay in here and finally let Vileplume go down. Gia sends out Togekiss, and Detox is going to have to swap into Jellicent here, as Togekiss is going to go for a Roost. Gia is going to continue to swap and brings in Espeon now, and who's going to take that Scald pretty well on this turn. Espeon here goes for a Shadow Ball, and Jellicent is going to respond with a Shadow Ball of its own. Gia goes for another Shadow Ball, but misses out on the KO, giving Jellicent the opportunity to retaliate and to take it out with another Shadow Ball. Gia is down to 4 Pokemon at this point, to Detox's 3. Gia brings in Basculegion, and Detox here is just going to let Jellicent go down to that Crunch. This will give Detox a safe switch-in to Crocodile, who gets an Intimidate off onto Basculegion. Gia here decides to sacrifice her Magmortar to that knockoff, giving her a safe switch into her next Pokemon. Gia brings in Sandslash here, and Detox is going to stay in and go for a knockoff, but Sandslash takes that pretty well. Sandslash goes to the Ice Spinner, but it's not enough to KO Crocodile. Detox retaliates, but Sandslash survives on 1% and is gonna be able to take out Crocodile. Detox's last Pokemon is Zangoose, who is gonna get the revenge KO onto Sandslash with that quick attack, but unfortunately, Zangoose doesn't have any moves to hit a ghost type, right? It has Facade, it has close combat, quick attack. It's not gonna be able to do anything here. Basculegion is immune to Zangoose. It's gonna do big damage with that Wave Crash. Zangoose goes down, and Gia will win the battle.
Gia! Shantae, you stay. Detox, sashay away.
Well, this is hauntingly familiar.
Holy moly. Gia played that really well and had some amazing reads onto Detox. Even with that lead, if Crocodile had been able to take out that Sandslash, Detox might have been able to really just sweep through the rest of Gia's team. So that was really a pivotal moment of the match. For me, the most valuable Pokemon of the match had to be Gia's Vileplume, who not only soaked up a bunch of incoming damage for Gia, but also put in a lot of work on Detox's Dragonite as well, and took out Beedrill with the help of that Effect Spore. 3 queens have sashayed away, and things are starting to heat up. Don't miss episode 4 of Gotta Drag 'em All-Stars, dropping in 2 weeks. Bye!